Refused to use the money I inherited from my mother to pay for medical treatment for my half-sister, who has a life-threatening sickness. She is the child of my father and the woman he cheated on my mother with. My mom died when I was 14 from cancer. The last 2 years of her life were awful. She went from this vibrant woman who taught me how to ride a bike and helped with homework every night to someone who could barely get out of bed. Dad was supposed to be there for us, but he wasn't. He was working late constantly, going on business trips that seemed to happen every week, and when he was home, he acted like everything was fine. I found out why when I was going through Mom's purse looking for her insurance card during one of her hospital visits. There were printed emails between her and her sister talking about Dad's affair. Turns out he'd been seeing this woman from his office for over a year. Mom knew everything but didn't want to stress me out during finals. She died 3 months later. Dad married the other woman 8 months after the funeral. They had a daughter together when I was 16. I never considered her my sister. She was just this kid who lived in what used to be my house with the woman who destroyed my family. Mom left me everything in her will. Her savings account, her jewelry, even her car. It wasn't a fortune, but it was enough for college and maybe a down payment on a house someday. About $37,000 total. Dad never touched it because legally he couldn't. I moved out at 18 and barely talked to them. Maybe a text on holidays or when Dad guilted me enough. I was finishing my second year of college when Dad called me crying. The kid, who was now 6, had been diagnosed with leukemia. Their insurance would cover most of it, but they needed about $15,000 up front for some experimental treatment that wasn't covered. He asked if I could help. When I said no, he got angry and started yelling about how she was my sister and family helps family. I reminded him that he didn't help family when Mom was dying and needed him most. He hung up on me. A week later, the woman called me directly. She was sobbing about how they'd tried everything, borrowed money from relatives, started a GoFundMe that barely raised $2,000. She said I was their last hope and that she knew Mom would want me to help save a child's life. That's when I lost it. I told her Mom would still be alive if she hadn't been a homewrecker. I told her that her daughter meant nothing to me and that I wasn't going to spend my dead mother's money to fix her problems. I said if she really cared about her kid, she should have thought about medical bills before sleeping with a married man. She started screaming at me, calling me heartless and selfish. Dad got on the phone and said I was dead to him if I didn't help. I told him he'd been dead to me since Mom's funeral and hung up. 3 weeks later, I got a text from my aunt saying the kid had died. The treatment might not have worked anyway, but they never got to try it. Dad sent me a long message about how I had blood on my hands and that Mom would be ashamed of me. Part of me wondered if he was right, but then I remembered sitting in that hospital room holding Mom's hand while she apologized for not being able to afford better treatment. I remembered Dad missing her last Christmas because he was at his girlfriend's family dinner. I remembered how he introduced his new wife to people as his first wife only 6 months after Mom died. That money was Mom's way of taking care of me from beyond the grave. It was her final gift after a lifetime of putting everyone else first.